In the news this week, a top court hears concerns over the Scottish Government's named person plans, an undercover investigation highlights the link between a banned doctor and Dignitas, and Star Trek actor Sir Patrick Stewart stands up for Asher's Baking Company. Hello, and welcome to this week's news bulletin from the Christian Institute. Judges from Scotland's highest court have heard arguments against the Scottish Government's state guardian plans. The case against the named person scheme is being brought by the Christian Institute, other concerned organisations, and parents. At the beginning of this year, Judge Lord Pentland rejected their concerns, but now the arguments are being considered by the Inner House of the Court of Session in Edinburgh. Representing the groups in court, Aidan O'Neill QC said the plans would create a situation worse than a nanny state because the nanny is at least responsible to the family. The hearing took place after a campaign group opposed to the named person scheme launched an online petition. No to MP is tapping into growing concern over the scheme, which would see every child assigned a state guardian to oversee their well-being. The petition says, "I oppose the Scottish Government's plan to assign a named person to every child in Scotland because it undermines families and diverts resources from children who need them." Scottish residents over the age of 16 can sign the petition at notomp.org. Assisted suicide group Dignitas has recommended a banned doctor to a reporter posing as someone seeking assisted suicide. In an undercover investigation, a journalist claiming to suffer from depression was advised to contact Colin Brewer because he had an open mind on the issue. Brewer then told the reporter from the Daily Mail that because he was not on medical registers, nobody could tell him what to do. The Department of Health expressed concern about what the investigation revealed. "We urge anyone experiencing depression to seek NHS care rather than unregistered practitioners." The news came as columnists again spoke out against legalising assisted suicide. Former editor of the Daily Telegraph, Charles Moore, said such a move would undermine the motive that sustains all medicine. And writing in The Times, Melanie Phillips noted the likelihood of the criteria for assisted suicide being widened. Recent attempts to legalise assisted suicide have failed, with neither Lord Falconer's bill in Westminster nor Patrick Harvey's proposals in Scotland being passed into law. Christians are facing more and more intolerance, but they should continue to speak out in the public square. That's what Reverend Dr. Ian McNie told church delegates as he formally took up the post of Moderator of the Presbyterian Church in Ireland. Addressing its General Assembly in Belfast, he said important values are being threatened.
The church today, as part of society, is facing an increasing intolerance. Opinions are expressed and laws are passed that are at variance with what we as Christians stand for. Values associated with the beginning and ending of life, the family dynamic, freedom of conscience, and the sanctity of marriage are all under threat.
Dr. McNie also encouraged those listening against retreating into a corner, as that was not the policy established by Jesus Christ. Outgoing moderator Reverend Dr. Michael Barry said the church's view will not always fit with society. "Not everyone likes what we believe, but we do not conform to the world's opinions." And finally, the renowned stage and screen actor Sir Patrick Stewart has said that he backs the stand taken by Asher's Baking Company. A prominent supporter of same-sex marriage, Sir Patrick said that he defends the MacArthur family's right to object to a cause with which they fundamentally disagree. He made the remarks during an interview on BBC Two's Newsnight.
Finally, I found myself on the side of the bakers.
Did you? On that one, the
bakers? Yes. It was not because this was a gay couple that they objected. It was not because they were going to be celebrating some kind of marriage or agreement between them. It was the actual words on the cake that they objected to. And because they found them offensive. And I would support their rights to say, no, this is personally offensive to my beliefs, I will not do it.
Speaking on BBC Radio Ulster's The Stephen Nolan Show, Deputy Director of the Christian Institute, Simon Calvert, commended Sir Patrick.
He's interesting because he's like a lot of people who support same-sex marriage.
in that they just think that what has been done to the MacArthur family in this particular case is going too far. And, it's very fair of him, isn't it? He strongly supports gay marriage, but he thinks that the MacArthurs should not be legally obliged to help promote it.
Mr. Calvert argued that this is a distinction that most people can see, whether they share the MacArthur family's Christian faith and views on marriage or not. Well, that's all for this week. For regular updates and information on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.